Hello everyone, welcome back to ESL DRILL. I sincerely thank you for being my subscriber here. If you are new here, I would like you to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any new upload. Okay, this is part 2 of Maya Bazaar. Let's proceed and see what we have here. Let me read these paragraphs first. As for songs, Ahana Pelliyanta still reverberates in marriages and Vivaha Bhojanambu is yet another must. An entire repertoire was added to the Telugu dictionary by the film. Take for example Talpam, used for denoting a cot or a bed. Were Telugus using Gilpam as an antonym of it till the movie's advent? Nor did anyone tell so emphatically until Ghatotkacha that Yavaru Puttinchakunte Matlela Pudtayi. And hence, if friends are to be called Asamadiyulu, then enemies could be termed Tasamadiyulu. Will anyone forget the expression Veyindira Vidiko Veeratadu? No exception to Hi Hi Sodara and Hi Hi Nayaka. Now let's look at the words and what they mean here. Here, the songs mentioned are Ahana Pelliyanta and Vivaha Bhojanambu. These two songs still reverberate in marriages. What is the meaning of reverberate? Reverberate means echo. So they echo in marriages. It means we hear those songs in marriages now. Okay, and look at the last word here. Vivaha Bhojanambu is yet another must. Must is not a modal verb here, it's a noun. Must means something that you must do. Now, Vivaha Bhojanambu is the song that we must have in marriages. Okay, look at the next paragraph. We have the word repertoire. This is to be pronounced as repertoire. Repertoire. Now, what is this repertoire? Repertoire is collection. Here we are talking about a collection of words, collection of phrases used in the film Maya Bazaar. So all the new expressions and new words used in the film Maya Bazaar were added to a Telugu dictionary after the film. Now take for example Talpam, used for denoting a cot or a bed. Actually Talpam means cot or bed, but Telugu people were not using Gilpam as the antonym of it, as the opposite of it before the movie's release. But after the movie was released, people started using Gilpam as the antonym, as the opposite of Talpam, because in Maya Bazaar that word Gilpam was used. Now look at this here as an antonym of it till the movie's advent. Here advent means here arrival, or simple meaning is release. So before the movie was released, nobody was using Gilpam as the opposite of Talpam. And look at another one here. Nor did anyone tell so emphatically. Did anyone tell us so strongly as Ghatotkacha did? So in the movie Maya Bazaar, Ghatotkacha says, Evaru Puttinchakunte Matlela Pudtayi. Nobody said. That was why there were many words created in the film Maya Bazaar, and then those words became part of Telugu dictionary here. People started using them. And look at another one here, Asamadiyulu. So if friends are called Asamadiyulu, the opposite is Tasamadiyulu. It means the enemies. So here termed means here named. If friends can be named Asamadiyulu, enemies can be named Tasamadiyulu. And another expression is Veyindira Vidiko Veeratadu. And Hi Hi Nayaka, Hi Hi Sodara. So this Hi Hi Sodara is used between Ghatotkacha and Abhimanyu because they are brothers. And Hi Hi Nayaka, Ghatotkacha's disciples, Sishyas, use Hi Hi Nayaka. Okay, Veyindira Vidiko Veeratadu. Ghatotkacha says this when he was impressed with one of his Sishyas, one of his disciples. Let's move to the next one. The story itself is woven around the love of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu, with Krishna and Balarama having difference of opinion over it. Their wives too take sides, as is inevitable in any family. To introduce the theme, the director uses a magic box, an equivalent of a TV screen, which displays whatever is dear to the viewer's heart. Sasirekha naturally sees Abhimanyu and Balarama gets to see his Sishya Duryodhana on it. His wife laps up the sight of an array of jewelry, and the audience laughed heartily because they knew that someone back home was equally attached to the riches. We have a few expressions highlighted here. The story of Sasirekha Parinayam, Maya Bazaar, is woven around, is created around the love of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu. Look at that, woven around. Woven around means here created around. So it was made around. Interesting thing here is that Krishna and Balarama, the two brothers, had difference of opinion over it. Here it refers to the love of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu, or the marriage of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu. These two people have difference of opinion. Let's see what it is. Difference of opinion is a slight disagreement. When two people have difference of opinion, they have two different ideas about the same thing. That's why they don't agree on the same point. Now here, Abhimanyu, Sasirekha love each other, but Balarama wants to give Sasirekha to Lakshmana Kumara, and Lord Krishna wants to perform the marriage of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu. That's why they could not agree on one point. And as this happens, their wives too take sides. It means Balarama's wife and Krishna's wife. They take their husband's sides. That is inevitable in any family. So, inevitable. Let's look at that. Before that, let's look at take sides. They take sides. Means they support their own husbands. Let's look at the general meaning here. Take sides means to support one person or group rather than another. Okay, now inevitable in any family. So here, wives taking the side of or maybe supporting their husbands is very common in any family, is inevitable. It's very common. We cannot avoid it. And the director K.V. Reddy introduces the theme of Maya Bazaar using a magic box. The magic box is an equivalent of a TV screen. So equivalent of means equal to. That's almost like a TV screen, and it displays whatever is dear to the viewer's heart. What is dear to? Dear to means here loved by. Now if you use loved by in the place of dear to, you can get it perfectly right, which displays whatever is loved by the viewer's heart. Okay, all the main characters try to see what is dear to them. Now in the magic box they try to see it. When Sasirekha tries, she naturally sees Abhimanyu. We know that Sasirekha loves Abhimanyu and she sees him. And Balarama gets to see his Sishya Duryodhana. Balarama's Sishya Duryodhana. And his wife, Balarama's wife, laps up the sight of an array of jewelry. What is this lap up? Let's look at that in the next slide. Lap up means here enjoy. Now when Balarama's wife Revati looks at the magic screen or magic box, she sees jewelry, a pile, a heap of jewelry, and she enjoys looking at the jewelry and everything there. Look at this word, array, the sight of an array. So array here is a collection, a large group of things. So jewelry and gemstones, many things there. And the audience laughed heartily because they know or they knew that someone back home was equally attached to the riches. So in every family there is a person who is attached to riches as Revati is, Balarama's wife is. Okay, now let's get to the next one. When Balarama curtly tells his sister, Subhadra, Agadalu agaichalu naku panikiravu, when he was confronted with the latter's indignation at his decision to separate Sasirekha and Abhimanyu, women folk among the viewers sighed, recalling their own tribulations in the hands of such brothers. Frame after frame impacts viewers with similarities. The greatness of the director lies here. He successfully reduces all characters to ordinary mortals, displaying all the follies of human beings, except Ghatotkacha and Krishna. And then he injects into the Yadava household a Telugu atmosphere full with its simile, imagery, adage, sarcasm and wit. There is a lot that we should discuss here. when Balarama curtly tells his sister. Now, curtly means rudely. In a violent way, in a rude way, Balarama tells his sister. What does he say? Subhadra, agadalu agaichalu naku panikiravu. Now, why does he say this? Actually, he was confronted with the latter's indignations. Here, why did he say this? He was confronted with the latter's indignation. Look at the word latter here. Latter means the second of the two people mentioned. Here, the first person mentioned is Balarama and the next one is his sister Subhadra. Okay, the latter is Subhadra. Indignation means anger. Anger because of unfair treatment. She was not happy with what Balarama did. She was angry. And here latter's indignation means Subhadra's anger. So why was Subhadra angry? Subhadra was angry because of Balarama's decision to separate Sasirekha and Abhimanyu. So Balarama actually promised Subhadra that he would perform the marriage of Sasirekha and Abhimanyu, but later he decides to give Sasirekha to Lakshmana Kumara, Duryodhana's son, and that was why Subhadra gets angry and she asks Balarama about it, and Balarama gets angry and he rudely tells her this one, Subhadra, agadalu agaichalu naku panikiravu. And when people watch this particular scene, especially women folk, look at this word here, women folk is nothing but women. Women in the viewers, among the viewers, sighed. This is sighing. Look at the word here. They expressed sadness by breathing out slowly and noisily. So, they sighed, recalling their own tribulations. Recalling means here remembering their own tribulations. So here tribulations are sufferings, are difficulties faced by them. Frame after frame impacts viewers. Impacts means influences. Every frame in the movie influences the viewers with similarities. We can find similarities. What we see on the screen can be compared to what really happens in our lives. The greatness of director lies here. What is it? He reduces all characters to ordinary mortals. Look at the word mortals here. Ordinary people. So he changes all people, godly people, to mortals, ordinary people. And he displays all the follies of human beings. So what are follies? Follies are stupid things. So they do stupid things, like Balarama is a bad-tempered person, very angry. He gets angry very easily. So that's a mistake. That's a problem, like a human being, like a mortal, like an ordinary person. And Revati is fond of jewelry, and that shows that she is an ordinary mortal. Except Ghatotkacha and Krishna, everybody is reduced to ordinary mortal. So Ghatotkacha and Krishna, when we look at them, we have a feeling that they are godly. And then the director injects into Yadava household. So this is Yaduvamsam, Yadava family, and into that Yadava household. Household means family. Into the Yadava family, the director brings Telugu atmosphere. And what does he add? What does he bring along with the Telugu atmosphere? Look at this first word here, simile. Let's look at what it is. Simile is an expression comparing one thing with another. We always use the words as or like. Okay, he is as blind as a bat without spectacles. It means he cannot see without his spectacles. We use the word as. Next, like can also be used. Simile, there are many similes. And imagery. Look at the meaning of imagery here. Imagery is the language that produces pictures in the minds of people reading or listening. When some people use certain words, we can easily understand what they mean because the words used by them are such. They bring pictures into our mind and we easily understand them. And there is adage as well, a well-known phrase that says something wise. And sarcasm. Sarcasm is a way of using words that are the opposite of what you mean. So when you say something sarcastically with a sarcasm, the meaning of what you say is completely opposite, is different. And there is wit as well in the movie. Wit is the ability to say clever and funny things, humorous things. People with wit, people who have the ability to create wit, can make a serious situation, can turn a serious situation into a funny one by making some funny remarks, humorous remarks. Okay, let's move to the next part. The result, a feast for the eyes and soul. That is Maya Bazaar for you. Mind you, this is a story of Pandavas and Kauravas with the Yadavas pitching in. But one never sees the Pandavas throughout the film. We only hear of them. If any NRI asks you to suggest ways to teach Telugu culture, just ask him or her to introduce them to Maya Bazaar first. Further, if they seek to know about their uncles, aunts and cousins back home, bring in their names. Look, this is your Balarama. Any better way of doing it? Then onwards, it's all Lahiri, 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 Lo. Now let's look at a few things here. The result, we have discussed many things. All those things create something wonderful. And the result of all those things that we have discussed is a feast for the eyes. What is a feast? Feast is a thing or an event that brings great pleasure. So people who watch Maya Bazaar think that that's something, the movie is something that gives them happiness, pleasure. And that's Maya Bazaar. This is actually the story of, or a story of Pandavas and Kauravas, Mahabharata. But we never see Pandavas and we never see Kauravas except Duryodhana, and we just hear of Pandavas and Kauravas. And the whole movie is all about Yadavas. So, story of Pandavas and Kauravas with Yadavas pitching in. What is the meaning of pitching in? Joining in. So, Yadavas join in the middle, and then that's all about Yadava family. And we don't see Pandavas throughout the film. If any NRI asks you to suggest ways to teach Telugu culture, just ask them to introduce them to Maya Bazaar first. NRI. NRI is non-resident Indian. Well, if any NRI asks you to suggest ways to teach Telugu culture, just ask those people to watch Maya Bazaar, or maybe to show that Maya Bazaar film to those people whom they want to teach Telugu culture. After watching that movie, so ask the viewer to imagine themselves as Lord Krishna, and then you can mention all the relations. Like if the viewer is Lord Krishna and there is a person who is this person's brother, and you show that person and say, this is your Balarama. Is there any better way of doing it? It's easy to show relations or to explain relations to the NRI children. So this was a review article on Maya Bazaar published in the Hindu on 21st April 2006. That's the end of Maya Bazaar review analysis. I hope you have enjoyed. If there is anything that you still want to, you can mention that in the comment section. I'll certainly respond to those comments. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.